vortex, I can't stop crying. And it's not just because I'm listening to Kind of Blue by Miles Davis. I've always been kind of blue, my entire life. There's probably no other album title that could better explain my sentiment towards everything. But I think that what makes me sad is just like thinking about the overall discontentedness that so many people experience. I don't feel sorry for myself. And I think that that's a general problem that so many people have in Western countries, is they just sit around feeling sorry for themselves. I did that when I was younger, and then I got really bored. But I was thinking about the typical reason that so many people make whenever they have kids. You know, I feel like you have to make up a reason at this point. Like, it's not, oh, we're biologically and psychologically driven to do this. Because at this point, that's not true anymore. Like, even if our parts are made for that, all the powers that be had to do was simply suggest that maybe we don't have to do that. And that's all it took. Just a minor suggestion. And now you have all these women that choose to have a career instead of raise a family. Now, that's not the reason that I refuse to have kids, because I don't really have much of a career at Steak and Shake, okay? That's not an illustrious career that people typically strive to have. I mean, maybe if I own the place, but I don't think that women should be in authority positions, so I very clearly wouldn't do that. But I always knew that I was supposed to do something that was really, really important. And I do believe that women should make babies. Like, that's the most valuable thing that we could give to the world. But psychologically, I'm just not prepared to do that. Like, my maternal instincts in regards to, like, being nurturing and protective are, like, totally insane. Like, it would drive me insane, and it would drive my children insane, and it would probably drive my husband insane. And I know that about myself. And because I know that I couldn't handle that responsibility, because it's a huge responsibility. I would be one of those people that, like, ran away from my responsibility of raising my kids. I would be one of those people that would be like a helicopter mom, you know? And I think that that's dangerous in itself. But I think that so many people have kids without realizing the major responsibility that entails. Or they have kids for narcissistic reasons. And so if their child doesn't live up to their expectations, they resent their child, and their child resents them as well. I'm way too aware of this reality. But, you know, I'm adopted, and, you know, I don't know where I come from, and I was just thinking about how, like, if I wanted to extend my bloodline, I don't even know what that would mean. But just sort of reasoning with myself here, I used to be really angry with my mother for not aborting me, and I know that that sounds really ungrateful, especially to people that are like super duper pro-life. So they don't understand how or why anybody would have the other position. But because I don't know my mom, I can't tell her thank you, and I also can't tell her fuck you. You know, I don't know who she is, and I'm not gonna use technology in order to find her. You know? I feel like it's a mystery for a reason. And I think that that's something that really bothers people, is just mystery. You know, they want to know everything. And it kills them that they don't, which is why, you know, intellectualism exists. But I'm okay with God knowing the truth and me just trusting God, you know? But it still hurts sometimes when I think about it. But something that crossed my mind tonight, and this is why I can't stop crying about it, it's like, you know, maybe my mom had me because she was hoping that I would make the world better. And I feel like that's the most noble reason why anybody could or would have children, is they want to believe that their offspring would make this world a better place. And I don't take that lightly at all. And I guess that's why I've been so hardcore in regards to, you know, like all these videos that I put up. I mean, you might not think much of them because I don't edit them. And it's very like old school vlogging, you know, like what you see is what you get. But there's such a severe lack of that in our culture. There's such a severe lack of that in our society, with, you know, people that are just being real and doing this sort of stream of consciousness stuff. And this dude who is a diehard fan of my stuff, I got kind of upset with him. I did like a series of videos where I made it very evident that he rubbed me the wrong way because he accused me of not being happy. And I guess that triggered me because of the societal standards for happiness. I don't meet a single one of them. But he lives in British Columbia, and, you know, we've been talking on the telephone, and he told me that I changed his life and I brought him to Christ. He's gay, by the way, I should mention that too, because I said that I wanted to be received by women and homosexual men, and it seems that I have gotten exactly what I wanted. Not that heterosexual men or, you know, just men in general. I mean, I'm happy with anybody that receives my message, but it means a lot when I get exactly what I want. Let's just say that. But I don't know, he told me that I really, really inspired him. And I mean, that means a lot to me, man. So the fact that I was able to just change one person's life for the better and inspire them to keep on keeping on, you know, that's all it takes, really. It's just, you know, one person's contribution, one person's sacrifice. And I know that I'm not going to have kids. I've known that since I was 6 years old. I knew that I could never have that because I just wasn't meant to. And I think that when you're really young, you know what your future is. You know what you're supposed to do. That's when you're the most authentic, because that's when your personality develops. And so I know it probably does sound like a cope, though, like I'm making up excuses for not doing what women are supposed to do, but it's like, schizophrenic women probably shouldn't have babies because they're most definitely going to be taken away by the state. And if that happened, let me tell you, there would be a lot of dead people working for the government, all right? And we're obviously not wrong to be paranoid about that, because this child sex trafficking ring has been operating in this country for quite some time now, and they specifically target poor white people. Now, I'm sure that I could figure out a way around the system, because I always do, but I'm a very paranoid person. So it's like so crazy to me, like just seeing these parents that give their kids a smartphone and allow their kids to like leave the house and go to school and shit like that. Like, that is insane to me, dude. That is absolutely insane. I do not understand the ways of this world. And I just feel like having a family is something that like conventional, traditional people should do. Normal people, let's just say that. Normal people that can handle that responsibility. And I think that that's the main issue, is that, you know, so many people, they make this choice to have sexual intercourse. And then they either abort the kid because they're not ready, or they have the kid and they're a really bad parent. And I know it sounds very hypocritical, like, who the fuck am I? Like, I don't even have kids, so who am I to criticize people for their parenting style? I'm criticizing you for having sex. You shouldn't have done that stupid shit, okay? This is why I say, stop talking about abortion. It doesn't matter. There's no point in talking about abortion. The people that believe in abortion aren't going to stop believing in it. And the people that are pro-life are going to keep being pro-life in ways that doesn't ensure that they're going to be more, you know, useful mothers that raise their kids right. There are just so many things that are wrong with our culture, and I just feel like it's so silly and way too idealistic to think that you can, you know, change the way that people operate all because you change a policy, you know? I mean, I understand their passion behind it, but I just want to be effective. Like I've stated over and over again, that's all I care about, is being effective. And so if I can't be effective in the way that I talk, I'm totally useless. I guess I can only hope that I'll do something that is so noteworthy that maybe somewhere my mother, who's out there, I mean, maybe not, maybe she killed herself, maybe she overdosed or something. If I have all these psychological issues, I can only assume that my birth parents probably had something going on as well, okay? And I'll never know. And you have any idea how much that pains me? Like, I have no idea, like, what's in my family history, because I don't know who my family are, you know? And they ask me questions about that, about my parents, like my adoptive parents. And I just don't think that people really understand that. And I'm not trying to whine about it or anything, because I know how lucky I am. I know how blessed I am. But at the same time, it's always been this huge gaping hole inside of me, because yeah, if you don't know where you come from, like, naturally you're gonna be a borderline personality, right? I mean, I definitely struggled with that when I was younger. I know that I did. That's how I can tell people how to get themselves out of that illness, because I've struggled with it myself. And I do believe, and maybe this is just a lie that I'm telling myself so that I don't commit suicide, but don't rob me of this lie, okay? If that's what it is. I don't think so, but what if I was meant to struggle with all these things so I could help other people when they have that same struggle? I mean, that's the most that you can hope for with any tragic aspect of your life, with any hardship, with anything that you have an issue with. I just really, really hope that I continue to do that, and that if my mother ever discovers me, that she'll be proud that she didn't abort me.